Hello, my name is Rosha Camille. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what I have been putting out, please do me a couple favors. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and most of all, share with someone. I want to give a special thank you for those who watched the live on Saturday, the hour of prayer. I am looking forward to doing it again this Saturday, and I'm going to be having guests join us on Saturday, and we're going to be talking about different things from relationships to just general things and going before the Lord. So if you know someone, please invite them, because we want to be able to pray for anyone who needs prayer, because we believe that God desires for all of us to be free and for all of us to be made whole and to walk in the power and authority and in his love. Now today, I've been on this conversation about divine shifts all weekend because of the story of Gideon. And I think the story, even, besides the victory, is beautiful and is important. It gives us a template for how to respond to God if we're not sure. Like, God is sure who we are when he calls us. And the one thing about the book of Judges that I love, that God called perfectly imperfect people, flawed people with different issues. And Gideon was found in the wine press, refining grain. He was busy. He was busy hiding food from his attackers, from those that were oppressing them. He was busy in his fear. He was busy trying to feed others. He was busy. He was being productive. And the angel of the Lord sat under a tree in Ophrah to meet him. And Gideon had all these different questions about where is the God of our ancestors to this angel. And God never answered the question. But what happened was, God never gave an answer. But here's the thing. Even though Gideon's questions were never answered, he became an answer. He became the thing that the children of Israel needed. And even though he was not sure, even though he dealt with, maybe low confidence, low self-esteem comparison, he decided that he would still trust God. So know this, you do not have to be sure to follow and trust God. Just try and test God. Just, God, I'm not sure. So I need, maybe it's not all the signs, but God will give you favor like he did with Gideon. He will give you favor. He would give you what to say. Just say, God, I'm having trouble trusting that you called me to do this big thing or this hard thing. And I thought about different people in the Bible when it comes to divine shifts. Because some divine shifts, it's not God coming to us. It could be a person like Elisha with Elijah. It could be by force, like Joseph being put in the pit and sold into slavery. That was a divine shift. Not all divine shifts are pleasant, but they do disrupt things in our lives. Because each one of those people I mentioned, they were busy in what they were told to do by their parents, or what they thought was right to do. They were already being productive. They already had their hands full. And for Joseph, God snatched what was out of his hands. For Gideon, he asked Gideon to stop and follow me. With Elijah, guess what? He gave away what was in his hands. Elijah did, and he burned it, and he went on to follow the prophet Elijah. So guess what? Sometimes we have to do that. But God doesn't give us divine disruptions just to give us victory and miracles, but to help us to grow up and mature. Learn, for Joseph, it maybe was learning about, how his gift can be used anywhere. It could have been about maybe his arrogance, his naivety, things like that. Like, God had to mature and grow him up. For Gideon, it was disrupting his fear, disrupting his low self-esteem, disrupting the comparison and the anger and the frustration. And for Elijah, was to disrupt what he thought he would do for the rest of his life. And he got a double portion. Joseph became the second in command in Egypt. And Gideon, he became a judge, and he led them to victory. We have people that saved people from famines, liberated people, got a double portion, and ministered to people and changed the lives of so many people. So when we are doing what God has called us to do, sometimes we do have to put down what we're already doing. For some of us, that is working for a company, maybe for yourself. Some of us, that means putting, God is asking you to shift from being, married with no children to becoming parents suddenly through adoption or fostering, or, your family member having a hard time with their children and that God is to take over. Like, whatever the thing is, will you put it down? And will you allow God to make you an answer? And becoming the answer, depending on the need, is not always easy. And I love where Paul was talking about in 1 Corinthians 11. And it says, when I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. And that's what sometimes divine disruptions do. I think about it was a character in the Bible, I think it was Philip, and he was in the desert after he baptized the eunuch, and he was carried away, I think, by the Spirit bitterly. He was not happy that he was being transported away, that God was shifting him. So when we are asking God for breakthrough, we have to shift into the breakthrough. We have to position ourselves in the right place for the breakthrough to happen. We partner with God when we shift. And for 41 years, remember, I've mentioned this in countless videos, God led the children of Israel, by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. And when the cloud moved, when the pillars moved, they shifted. Because in that shifting was everything they need. And for some of us, every day is a new opportunity to shift with God, shift into new habits, shift into new disciplines, shift into who God has created us to be. And yes, it's scary, and you're walking in new shoes and it's awkward. But guess what? God will take the awkwardness and he'll polish it. That's why he qualifies those that he has called. Don't worry about what you can and can't do. Just worry about what is God asking me to do. Don't even really worry about that. Just be obedient and respond. And seek God with all diligence. Because when he is ready to manifest the fullness of that shift, to set you up, to make you that ultimate answer, you will really experience miracles. But the preparation there to becoming that ultimate answer or the liberator, whatever the case may be, he is testing and training you on your way up. So you will learn his voice. You will learn his ways. You will learn his character. So divine shifts invite us into the character of God, and knowing who he is, it strengthens us. To magnify him instead of our problems, magnifying him instead of ourselves, magnifying him and being led by the Spirit of God. So I would love for all of us to shift with God. Shift with the person, the person who created the universe. Shift with the person, Lord. People, the shift with the Lord. And know everywhere that you are, he is there. He is here with you even today. He is so close and near. Just acknowledge that that he's there. Just acknowledge and respond, and he will respond in kind. Remember here, you are loved, you are valued, you are seen, you are heard, and most of all, you are being prayed for. And I see you very, very soon. Have a wonderful day.